Jump in. If you never heard that song before, that's the Baron. The name of the song is Tell Me Why. It's a bad, bad little jam. I want to share that with you because love that song. I love that song a long time. Good evening, Lawrence, my friend. Yeah, I wanted to share that because loving that song since I was small. I remember the first carnival party I went to was actually in Fatima College, and I was in my teenage days, and that song was a hit. So that could possibly date me a little bit to tell you how long I am around on this mortal coil. Anyway, the Progressive Empowerment Party has changed the national conversation to the point where people can't tell where the PEP stops and the rest of thinking Trinidad and Tobago starts. I'm going to play this for you twice. I'm starting now. Listen.
Not just the topic, but according to High Court Judge Frank C. Prasad, corruption also impacts how well an elected government does while in office. Recounting a case where judgment was delivered in May last year, the very vocal judge says the claimant took a political party to court over money that was given ahead of the 2007 general election. While the claimant said it was a loan, the defendant said it was a political donation. Justice C. Prasad says the case reinforced that this country has grown accustomed to such practices.
Such an approach to governance is untenable, unethical, and inconsistent with the oath of public office which demands that all decisions and actions should be made freely, fairly, and in the best interest of all citizens of the Republic.
Campaign finance reform should be enacted before the 20...
Hema, you can't invite him. Apologies for that last one. Hema, you can't invite Justice Frank C. Prasad on your show. You can't because he's singing like a pepper. You can't because he's singing like a pepper. Listen to what he just said. Let's see if we can listen to it. Find out from the start. Let's see if we can hear what he just said again.
Is untenable, unethical, and inconsistent with the oath of public office, which demands that all decisions and actions should be made freely, fairly, and in the best interest of all citizens of the Republic.
Now today, I met with a former Senate president, and we were discussing this at length. And my inbox, while we were having the conversation, was overflowing with everybody sharing their copies of this with me. But the point I want to make to Trinidad and Tobago is this, that we are reaching people where they're standing up and they're speaking out. I need you to hear this again. This is Justice Frank C. Prasad. This is a game changer, and this is on the heels of many others who are standing up and speaking out and calling for a better country. I am sleeping well at night.
Some to such practices.
Such an approach to governance is untenable, unethical, and inconsistent with the oath of public office, which demands that all decisions and actions should be made freely, fairly, and in the best interest of all citizens of the Republic.
He says it is clear campaign finance reform should be enacted before the 2020 election and the veil of secrecy regarding donations removed.
The dire need for a proper regulatory framework has to be prioritized, and campaign finance reform should be effected as a matter of urgency.
Meanwhile, British High Commissioner to the...
Now, I want you to hear, if Justice Frank C. Prasad was not enough, listen to the British High Commissioner and the message he sent to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, not to the PNM, not to the UNC, to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. When Donald Trump blanked Keith Rowley, it was to send a message and ignore Kamala and her little stunt where she went to deliver some Tulum and Tambran ball to the ambassador. Forget that. The world is sending a message to this country and we dare not miss it.
Tim Stew says if corruption is to be rooted out, civil society should not remain silent.
What the Progressive Empowerment Party does, what I do every night, what we do on the radio, is to stand up and to speak out. And I know it pisses people off. Yesterday I lost a friend, Michael Nahus, who I grew up with, unfriend me on Facebook. Michael Nahus, who, when I was putting One Alexandra Place on blast, Michael tell me one set of bullshit to make me believe, Phil, the Nahus family, we're not in this, you know. Government running we down for we property. But that is bullshit, and we'll get to that. Listen to this.
The media should also be free to expose the ills it sees.
And that was a message straight across the bow for people like Hema Ramkisoon, who are shutting down proper public discourse on what is going on. We have a chance here because it's not just us, it's everybody. Fuad Khan formed a page, and he have his little employee, Ravi Balgobin Maraj, operating for him. All the UNC know how to do is play hide and seek. So Fuad Khan couldn't create a page called Fuad Khan for a Better Tomorrow. So he created a page called Citizens for a Better Tomorrow. But every other post on the page is Ravi Balgobin Maraj blowing smoke up Fuad ass, celebrating Fuad. No problem, take your 3,000 little friends and your likes. But the truth of the matter is, we can't continue to vote for people in office who can't stand up with their own name, with their own face, with their own words and defend it every time people like Fuad Khan speaks, they get themselves in trouble. Now, when you go and you look at Citizens for a Better Tomorrow, which is Fuad Khan's alter ego, you see them jamming all the fat people that Kamala and Fuad fool people and think they apologize too. That's not the topic of tonight, but I just want to expose to you what is going on in Trinidad and Tobago. Do not take your guidance from people who could offer you nothing. It is why I have asked people like Paulo Kernahan, Kirk Waite, Afra Raymond, what next? After you convince everybody, if you convince them, after you convince them, what do? PNM bad, UNC worse. Where do they go? Home by you? We're meeting up in town for drinks? What is the action plan? Only the Progressive Empowerment Party is a real political vehicle. Only the Progressive Empowerment Party. The MSJ is David Abdullah and Ansel Roger's big con job to fool and deliver oil field workers to Wilfred Espinay. That's not a real party. The Congress of the People is a leftover of what was the Congress of the People. Like the NAR, just 3 letters. Useless, irrelevant, null, and of no effect, has no value, serves no purpose. The only political vehicle, I have to say it like this, because we have to be angry. When we find out we're renting another building from Faris, that Faris and his family were in negotiations with the government for 2 years, and 3 weeks before the lease signed, Faris resigned from the company. That's like Rohan Sinanan recusing himself from a ministry valuation to purchase K. Donner that he and other PNM financiers and ministers own. Recuse yourself from something that the ministry that you operate going on operate. Come now, man.
There is a striking overlap between those countries which suffer the least corruption and those which have the most free media. A media which is willing and equipped to investigate wrongdoing, expose failures, and criticise the powerful. That provides a really strong defence against corruption.
Where is the media in Trinidad and Tobago doing that? CNC3 that had to run this story, because trust me, you don't go against Justice C. Prasad and you won't ignore the British High Commissioner. So to their most damn, they're running this story. But they know they want to bullshit you with buck. They want to lead you astray with foolishness. They want you down on the ground fighting over shiny objects, distracted with nonsense. They want to laugh at you and take their 30 pieces of silver. What the British High Commissioner is saying here is that without a functional media, countries are wasting time.
Meanwhile, British High Commissioner to this country, Tim Stew, says if corruption is to be rooted out, civil society should not remain silent, and the media...
Civil society should not remain silent. Civil society should not remain silent. Speak up. Even if the heavens fall, speak up. No matter what they threaten, no matter what they send, no matter what they say, all the character assassination, all the defamation, all the victimization, let them pass you straight or hug you up in the street. Speak up, speak out.
Also be free to expose the ills it sees.
There is a striking overlap between those countries which suffer the least corruption and those which have the most free media. A media which is willing and equipped to investigate wrongdoing, expose failures, and criticise the powerful. That provides a really strong defence against corruption.
And that's what we need.
To such practices.
Such an approach to governance is untenable, unethical, and inconsistent with the oath of public...
Now let's talk this plain, right? Let's talk this plain as day, because you need to get it out. You need to get it in the open. Do not make jokes. Do not come on my wall and make jokes. Save the sarcasm and the cynicism. It is the lowest form of wit. Don't take this bad. Don't take this as a buff. But it is time for us to grow up, all of us. We need to stop the bullshit of the jamming still, and we like it so. Stop the buck shit on my wall at least. Stop it. Stop making excuses. Stop making jokes. Take yourself seriously. Take your country seriously. Take your responsibility to your country seriously. There are people who are speaking out. Give them your attention. And Jani Vashti Sukhdeo said today, see, this is not the copy and paste sideliners who looking to link up with the UNC and PNM who jump out and make their voice heard. This is a citizen who was an employee of Petrotrin. This is her post today. Well, the had was to wait for the spin doctor to use the right wording. Anyway, because it's a headline that says PM waiting on good bids. Right after Franklin Khan said Paria is not for sale. Because Espinay said it was for sale. Franklin said it's not for sale. Rowley said it is for sale, but they're just waiting for good bids. You can't get bids, good, bad, or indifferent if you don't issue a request for proposals. So if they retract the RFP, only what? Issue them again? She said, and I agree, she said Facebook needs a miss me with that bullshit button. You're buying the bullshit from this PNM? You're buying the bullshit from this PNM? Michael Nahus today, Michael, you're shaming yourself. Don't talk. Don't talk. Listen to Michael Nahus. Government is renting over 100 properties around Trinidad and Tobago. On average, government of Trinidad and Tobago is spending about $60 to $75 per month per square foot of property on maintenance alone for their own properties, and yet still, their air conditioners and elevators never work. Now listen, we spent $3 billion, $3,000 million, 200,000 house worth of money under Patrick Manning to build a government campus in town that was supposed to stop us having to rent from Nahus and family and all of them. That is what Manning conned the nation and told them under the last incarnation of the bandit clan we know as the PNM. The total criminal conspiracy, that gang of bandits and heathens, the People's National Movement. The last incarnation, Patrick Manning took up $3 billion of the people's money to spend to build a government campus that we're not using. So we're still going and rent from Nahus and Company. When Faris started to build 3 Alexandra Place, everything in town was already finished built. So why are we not using the buildings in town? But on the other hand, they can rent office space for less than $10 a square foot a month, and it's all maintenance including. Renting a property, now if Michael Nahus says this, I want to believe that Michael Nahus is not using property as a front for some other kind of business. So this is him making a profit. That means that Michael Nahus, through his brother-in-law Faris Al-Rawi, who is the Attorney General married to Michael Nahus' sister, could have explained to the government, listen, there is a better way to do this. You don't have to waste $60 and $75 a month. You could do it for $10, because that is the Michael Nahus that spoke to me. Michael told me that they're not running down government money for their office, for their real estate, that they can rent to anybody. So how you end up with 2 buildings on the same street renting to the same government? How? Renting a property works out 6 times cheaper for the government than owning and maintaining their own. That is, for as long as government is renting, as long as government is operating property at $60 and $75 a square foot. But if, as Michael Nahus says, government can operate at $10 a square foot, why they didn't hire Michael? Why Faris Al-Rawi didn't tell the government, didn't go to Raul Iquitos, there's my brother-in-law, Michael. He could hook us up right. You see how we're trying to band with jaw and tighten with belt and save money? Look, my brother-in-law, Michael, I'm married to his sister, Mona. Hear what? We will bring Michael on board and he will show us how to operate government properties for $10 a square foot. We pay Michael a good salary for that. But Michael and Faris don't think like that. They don't think like that. That is how the 1% thinks. Find a problem to exploit or make one. This is a country where a woman was getting raped in the savannah and she screamed for help and 9 men show up and help the rapist. That's this country. So when the Nahus family found out government is losing money rented, instead of doing like the members of the Progressive Empowerment Party who could ill afford it, Michael and them have money for the next 10 generations. Because they have building all over Woodbrook, all over town renting. So them safe, them set. When I used to talk to Michael, I say, why don't get involved, boy? Bring your mind, bring your voice to the nah boy Phil. Nah boy Phil. You see that nah boy Phil? We have too many greedy, indecent and obscene people in this country, fooling themselves and fooling others. Our country had to tell Timothy Hammersmith today, there are people who will be sitting on a wooden boat. Let's say the ship of state, Trinidad and Tobago, is a wooden boat, and they're feeling cold. They will pull up 2 plants and light it on fire. Not knowing that the ship that's sinking, they on too. They on it too. Michael Nahus chose to exploit a failing of government rather than call for transparency in procurement and responsibility with public funds in all transactions. A failing he was made aware of because his brother-in-law, Johnny Sukaram, also known as Faris Alrawi, had access to information from inside the PNM. Michael doesn't question why this might be so. He doesn't offer to facilitate a less advantageous and wasteful system. He doesn't question why so many unnecessary properties are being rented for such ridiculous prices, because it's not his problem. This is how the 1% thinks. Find a problem to exploit or make one. Our country is a failed nation not because the uneducated do not know and do not know that they do not know, but because the educated know and do not care. Michael Nahus, Faris Alrawi, Mona Nahus could have ridden to the rescue of Trinidad and Tobago rather than to take advantage of it. But these people not in it for you, and they're not in it for country, and they don't care what you think. As long as they can buy a bigger, better house and drive a bigger, better car and get their children bigger, better cars to drive, they feel like they make it in society. That is why, for the most part, I am upset with people that I'm related to. I really cannot believe that this is what we put out there. This is what we put out there for people to look and say, that's a success. That's why I can't forgive Anthony Sabga for building Grand Bazaar on the Highway Reserve. Because I think of everybody who puts themselves at risk, trying to go south or coming from south or going east or west, just coming out of his blasted Grand Bazaar, people at risk. What they built there to get around south is such a travesty. A real government would have done what Rohan Sinaran did to the Curep people houses, seize them and tear it down. Grand Bazaar was to be raised to the foundation. When you see a picture from it overhead, it's a disgusting, disgusting thing. There are people in this country that do not give a damn about this country. They only care about how much richer they could get. But the problem is, for them to get richer, you have to keep pressing people down further. And the problem with pressing people down further, at some point, those people will have to press back. And we will end up with a lot of unnecessary drama in this country because we didn't learn how to share. Because we didn't learn how to share. And I am absolutely disgusted now. I am disgusted with Franklin Khan for giving Michael Aboud and Amalgamated Security the contract to secure Paria / Petrotrin / whatever the hell they're naming it now, that they're trying to steal it, because there was no public, transparent and open tender for the provision of security services for Paria. So how did Michael Aboud and Amalgamated Security just get so lucky? How? A set of buck talk and bullshit while you playing the ass, taking chain up, laughing and skinning your face. These people stealing by truckload and go. CNC3 is owned by Sabga, you know. Sabga don't want you thinking about what Sabga doing in this country, you know. Don't take on CNC3. There are reasons I don't have no local TV. I don't even have local cable. All I have is internet. I don't watch none of it. Don't take them on. They have no interest whatsoever in a better Trinidad and Tobago, you know. They're only interested in exploiting Trinidad and Tobago. The Chamber of Commerce, that's its mission. I had to grill Timothy today asking him, what do you think about Kiss Baking Company flouting the law? He said, well, like other people who's come with this bullshit, All the doubles people doing it. That is nonsense. You know why that's nonsense? Most doubles people pay a rent for the under their box. Most doubles people in Trinidad that I am aware of, renting a space in somebody empty property, in somebody yard, in somebody gas station. Every doubles person I know, I buy doubles in Diego Martin. I know the person from La Puerta who renting under, we're in front by Don's too. He not on the pavement, he renting. The woman who renting from Brian Bechu and Northern Hardware on the side of Diego Martin Main Road. Them not on the pavement. They have a woman who renting from inside a yard next door to El Pecos. She not on the pavement. The person I used to buy the most doubles from was renting from George Aboud in Starlight to kick them out because some little Caesar's pizza or something come in. Sauce doubles they sell and rent from inside a gas station. The people may stand up on the pavement and eat the doubles, but the doubles people renting. The man who most people buying from in town now, Brooklyn Bar, he does rent from Moses. The man who's selling opposite One Woodbrook Place, renting a piece of land that he's selling his doubles from. All along the avenue, a man renting from CW Interiors, cut a hole in their fence, and next one renting from Aria, serving doubles from through Aria Gate. I don't know any doubles people. This is a bullshit argument. The only vendor selling food breaking the law is Kiss Bacon Company. Kiss Bacon Company. Miss Kanai, who used to sell roti in St. James, wasn't on the actual pavement. She was paying Silver Star rent. So miss me with the bullshit and enforce the freaking law. And anyway you bounce up a doubles box on the pavement, move them too. But enforce the law and stop giving us bullshit to hold. Because the nation is falling apart. It is collapsing. We're taking distraction and nonsense. Go and talk to them Venezuelan people. They will tell you. Boy, if I had only known we was whining low and drinking and partying while they was destroying our country, I'd be paying attention. Tell me, do you want a better country, or are you surfing Trinidad and Tobago, hoping to stay on till the last, and when the shit hits the fan, fly out? What happens if they have no seat on the plane for you? What happens if the price of airline tickets out of Trinidad? Right now, in Venezuela, people are throwing Venezuelan money away. They are throwing it away. It is 1 million. They stop counting when it reached 1 million% devalued. A pack of Kiss hops bread in Venezuela today would be 10 million TT dollars. 10 million TT dollars. Now, if you think that when the money starts to collapse, the $15,000 that you have saved up in Scotia going to increase, it's not. Its value is going to decrease. The price of a pack of bread will reach $10 million, but you will still only own 15,000. Tell me, your house worthless. The mortgage destroys you. By the 3rd month that you're late, and you go into the bank and you're telling the bank, but I don't understand how my mortgage went from $5,000 a month to $500,000 a month. And they tell you, well, that's what happened to the money. And you say, but it's not my fault. But that's where you're wrong. Because it is. It is your fault. Because Keith Rowley and his band of never-do-wells, that corrupt little front for the contract mafia, that PNM owned and operated by the 1% and the UNC too, that little handful of people cannot oppress 1 million+ people unless 1 million+ people don't have no self-respect, don't give a damn, willing to take a $500 for their vote that Kenneth Luke work out to be 27 cents a day. That's where you value yourself at. PNM, UNC, buy me for a jersey and 5 blues, 27 cents a day. I will sell my children down the river. Give me a country where nobody's safe, when nothing works. Give me a broken land with no water in the pipes, where if I cross the road from Fatima to Mokorapo, this is prestige, that fail. Give me a country where the price of food is madness. That when I buy me 2 KFC after night and all a stunting, my wallet, 2 sides of my wallet rubbing on each other. Give me all of that. Give me a country where public health is such bullshit, it strikes terror in the heart of people. If you get a heart attack and the ambulance pick you up and you realize it's General Hospital you're going, you might as well die in the ambulance. It is better you let your wife stay home and make the child home than to risk San Fernando General Hospital, whose child mortality rates is madness. Look around you. Just look. We have enough pitch in the pitch lake to pave 6,000 miles a day for China, but we don't have enough pitch in the pitch lake for our 2x4 land. Come on. Come on. We've exposed the Bankers Association and the pure collusion that's taken place between the 4 banks operating in Trinidad. All of them applying the same charges at the same time. Come on. Ask yourself, where's the government? Who is watching the store? Who is minding the store? Who is watching this country? Who is taking care of it? The Mahatma said, the 7 sins are wealth without work, pleasure without conscience, knowledge without character, commerce without morality, science without humanity, religion without sacrifice, and politics without principle. This country is broken by its elite, by its leadership, by the people that you allowed yourself to be conned into believing that they have any value. Them renting degrees, buying degrees, onlining degrees, telling you I have 9 degrees. Kiss my ass with that. What experience and knowledge you have? Because the entire parliament can't give you one concept that makes sense to the whole country. Not one idea, not one plan, not one policy that makes life better for everybody. For all the degrees that they have in the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago, all we get is bullshit, bacchanal and noise. Now tell me. Tell me where are the financial services regulations that prevents the banks from gouging out your eyes and emptying out your bank account, putting you in overdraft to suck your next salary out your hand before the check hits your account? Where's the financial services regulations that prevents that and protects you? Where? Where's the central bank governor? Where's the minister of finance? Where's the regulator for the financial service sector that prevents that from happening? Where? Where is it? In a country where the banks have decided that they're not giving you any interest on your money. You have no choice, because you have to open a bank account to do any kind of business in this country. You have to open a bank account if you want a job anyway, because they want to pay you in the bank. That's the rules that they made, so that they could charge you. Banks are making billions of dollars on nickeling and diming poor people in Trinidad and Tobago, because it's 700,000, 800,000, 900,000 people with these small bank accounts who live in paycheck to paycheck that is giving the banks billion-dollar profits. The banks, there is financial collusion in this country that has spread the value of US. They buy it for $6 and sell it for $6.77. That is not a real valuation. The value of the money is one thing. You're allowed to make a 3% markup to sell it. You're not allowed to set your own prices. Where is the financial services regulations for the country? Where? Let's be honest. Look around you. Look around you. You don't want to hear it now. No problem. No problem. Ignore these words and be damned, because it's coming at you. We're doing this every day. And I want to tell you, Justice C. Prasad had to say the same thing.
Last year, the very vocal judge says a claimant took a political party to court over money that was given ahead of the 2007 general election.
James Nanko just spoke on my wall and said, you're talking good, but don't put the UNC in that. But this party that they're talking about, Jack Warner, took money from people as an investment in the party and turn around and blank them after and tell them it's a donation. And that is why his fortunes have diminished. Because at least in Trinidad and Tobago, they are honor among thieves. Mr. Nanko, partner, if you don't know what your UNC government is capable of, don't speak on my wall now. I know of what I speak. I know of what I speak. Listen to him.
Was alone. Topic, but according to High Court Judge Frank C. Prasad, corruption also impacts how well an elected government does while in office. Recounting a case where judgment was delivered in May last year, the very vocal judge says the claimant took a political party to court over money that was given ahead of the 2007 general election. While the claimant said it was a loan, the defendant said it was a political donation. Justice C. Prasad says the case reinforced that this country has grown accustomed to such practices.
Such an approach to governance is untenable, unethical, and inconsistent with the oath of public office, which demands that all decisions and actions should be made freely, fairly, and in the best interest of all citizens of the Republic.
He says it is clear campaign finance reform should be enacted before the 2020 election and the veil of secrecy regarding donations removed.
The dire need for a proper regulatory framework has to be prioritized, and campaign finance reform should be effected as a matter of urgency.
Now listen to Justice Frank C. Prasad speak. You will believe that he's a member of the Progressive Empowerment Party, because every time somebody stands up and speaks sensibly, shows that they are a critical thinker and care about this country, they sound like a member of the PEP.
Meanwhile, British High Commissioner to this country, Tim Stew, says if corruption is to be rooted out, civil society should not remain silent, and the media should also be free to expose the ills it sees.
There is a striking overlap between those countries which suffer the least corruption and those which have the most free media. A media which is willing and equipped to investigate wrongdoing, expose failures, and criticise the powerful. That provides a really strong defence against corruption.
Now, I had brought up an incident to Gary Griffith, who was the Minister of National Security. Somebody had actually left me a document about bubble and corruption in the Ministry of Health under Fuad Khan with a company called, that was being run, Infotech, that was being run by a fellow by the name of Lorcan Camps, who was a board member of Guardian Media. Look at collusion. Look at the interlocking bullshit that is Trinidad and Tobago. Fuad Khan went public and said there is nothing wrong with the health card, that he and Infotech was doing a $45 million health card that turned out to be bubble and fraud on top of everything else. Any of y'all who think that the UNC is any different from the PNL, miss me with your bullshit. I was there. I see. I know. The Director of Highways, Roger Ganesh, son-in-law, Calco, get all the contracts to build road in the country. That is the same thing as Faris giving his family that building to rent. So if you're calling PNM out, call out UNC. That is why you can't take jackasses like Inshan Ishmael and Marcia Braveboy seriously, because they both pay to talk shit. You want a better country? Stop taking chain up and defending nonsense.
Every day I sit and wonder how this sweet island gets so bitter. peace and harmony, my red, white and black country. When you take a village
We in the trenches fighting for a better country, trying to out the fire, trying to halt the rampant run of those who are plundering and looting the nation. That entire contract to Faris Al-Rawi family needs to be made public. It needs to be exposed. It needs to be investigated, the terms and the conditions. The first question you have to ask is why? What properties exist already in the public space that could have been used? It is time now to turn the spotlight. And listen, I don't mind losing friends and family, I tell you all that. I step into this politics knowing this country on fire. So I don't care if you vex with me. Vex. Vex till you're blue, I don't care. I'm happy when former government ministers bad talk me and pass me straight. They're mad enough to stand up to me face to face in public and debate, not fight. I ain't Rowley. Let Rowley walk around with these shit kickers while his sister in California diagnosing him with cancer. These people, Rowley, that cancer go eat you up before they finish Balize house. All you don't know, all you don't care, God control the game. All that you're doing, all of it, like Sabga, like Hafiz Karamat, you have to get in that box. All are we going there? So what's the point? What was the point of it all? Why shit all over the country? Why make it so hard for people to live a life of peace and harmony? Why? What is so broken in y'all? What is lacking that your ego drives you to think that the more money you hoard in your bank account, the prettier you look, the taller, the fitter, the nicer, you're going on dead and leave it all behind? Michael Nahus, I want you to hear my words, brother. These things have a habit. The sins of the father have a habit of falling on generations below. Rescue your children, Michael Nahus, from this. Undo this. Tear up that contract. Walk away. Show me, show us. Show yourself and your children that you're a man of integrity. I thought you were. I thought you were a man of integrity. You called me on the phone. You said, Philip, that post, because I put up the first post on One Alexandra Place. It went viral. It went around the world twice. Michael called me from England. He said, Philip, that post hurting my family, boy. I said, Michael, he said, Philip, I promise you, they have nothing wrong in that. Anne-Marie Dulal now asked in response to Michael's post about government paying $60 and $75. Anne-Marie said that is a distortion of facts. The $60 and $75 government pays includes costs that the government still has when renting. Costs like cleaners, electrical fittings, and the operational costs, internet, that those costs, air conditioning and maintenance costs. Owners just have the overarching costs like painting, etc. Is Michael now saying that these owners can afford that $60, $75 in their rental rates? If that is so, that does not mean that owning your own building will be cheaper. Do these people think that we are all just that dumb? Michael Nahus, I am appealing to you. When you called me from England and you said to me, Philip, that post hurting my family, I say, Michael, I'm taking you on your word. And I don't do that for people, and I take down that post. I took it down, betting on you. Thought you were a man of integrity. It hurt me in my stomach. I let 2 days pass. I say Kamala on bullshit. Because Kamala usually on bullshit, all she brings to the table is gobar and vodka. So I say Kamala had to be on bullshit. I can't believe this. No. I can't believe. Michael, make it a lie, boy. Tear up that contract. Come now, man. Let's be good and decent people now, man. We're living in this collective ship. Let's make sure that we could sail on together now, man. Let's do this now. Let's do it for a better country. Tomorrow, the Progressive Empowerment Party opens its 4th office without one member of the contract mafia or the 1% being a part of this party. Tomorrow, the Progressive Empowerment Party opens its 4th office. Our 2nd office was opened in New York City. The address of that office is 704 Fenimore Street between Albany and Troy. And tomorrow, Saturday, they're having a soup sale to raise funds for the Progressive Empowerment Party. They almost finished sellout. If you're in New York or environs, you could link up and take this number, 347-500-1457. It's on my wall. If you need it, you could take the information from the post. New York office, support our soup sale. You could link up with Denise Xavier on my wall, or message me, Felicia Holder, Trini Mamu, Shari Wilson, all the usual suspects. Tomorrow we open our 4th office. Tomorrow we open our 4th office in Barataria, 10th Avenue, Barataria, despite the media blackout. Despite the unethical and unconstitutional media blackout. But you know what they say? Those the gods will destroy, they first make mad. Those the gods will destroy, they first make mad. They're laughing at Hema Ramkisoon and Sabga all over Facebook and social media. They're making fun of them, making memes. Samson Nanton and Rhea Ramble, duck and run. They may want to be part of that. Akash, I want to name calling in that because Akash is still a young man. And he can't get no sugar daddy to come and pick him up and buy him a Benz. Akash, after CNC3 collapse and fail, have to go on your work. And you have to make sure you have some kind of name in the country that people are watching as a joke. So Akash can't get tied up in that. Save yourself, Akash. Be careful. Do like Kamal Georges. Back out. Leave him on them to make yourself look like fools. When the media is over in Trinidad and Tobago, there will still be a Trinidad to defend. They're outside there distracting you with nonsense. Who the gods will destroy, they first make mad. CNC3 has been reduced to the National Enquirer status. Anyway, the Progressive Empowerment Party, despite that media blackout, despite not getting the talk show circuit to go and bring people, all we have is our radio show, this social media live and a couple other members, and we're getting a TV show launching soon at Coming. But tomorrow at 5 p.m., we are 10th Avenue in Barataria. Some incredible speakers. Come and meet some of the frontliners that you didn't know were Peppers. Come and listen to them tell you that a better nation is not only possible, it is what we have to do. We have a responsibility to this country. And I want to play a song for you now. It's a song that I heard that resonated with me as to why we do this. If you want a better country, Trinidad and Tobago, stand with us. Tomorrow at 5. Tomorrow at 5, we're in Barataria, 10th Avenue, opposite Maritime Plaza. You can't miss the orange banners. You will see us. Come down. Bring the whole family. We have food and drinks. Well, not alcohol, but food and drinks. Come and join with us. Listen to the words of this song.
The higher you build your barriers, the taller I become. The farther you take my rights away, the faster I will run. You can deny me, you can decide to turn your face away. No matter, 'cause there's something inside so strong. I know that I can make it, though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no, something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. do it anyway. I'm gonna do it anyway. Because there's something inside so strong. Inside so strong. I know that I can make it. When you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was something inside so strong. Something inside so strong. I know that I can make it. When you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was
Tomorrow at 5 p.m. we will be in Barataria, and that song will play through the big speakers, and you'll feel it in the center of your bones. Come and stand up for a better Trinidad and Tobago. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. we are 10th Avenue, Barataria. Once you could see Maritime Plaza, you're going to see us, a sea of orange. Come and add yourself and your family. All are invited. We don't care about race, color, creed, or class. We don't care about red, white, black, and green. All invited, even every shade in between. We don't care who you vote for, who you're sleeping with, who you're praying to. We ain't care about nothing or like that. All we care about is, do you want a better Trinidad and Tobago? If you want a better Trinidad and Tobago, if you want a Trinidad and Tobago where every creed and race can find an equal place, if you want a Trinidad and Tobago where every school could be a prestige school, if you want a Trinidad and Tobago where everybody could have water in their taps 24/7 without needing a tank and a pump, if you want a Trinidad and Tobago where public health treats all of our people with dignity, professionalism, and respect, if you want a Trinidad and Tobago where life is not hard and security is not a mystery, if you want a Trinidad and Tobago where the cost of food is within reach of everybody and the average person could own a home, if you want to live in a Trinidad and Tobago where those who want a job could have a job and those who have a job could buy a house, this is the party for you. We speak policies, programs, and plans that no other party has ever touched on. This is the real McCoy. Trinidad and Tobago has always been waiting for an opportunity to right itself. I asked Senate President Timothy Hammersmith today, you must agree there has been enough patchwork, enough excuses being made, enough bacchanal and noise. Sean David asked earlier, but why nobody will get prosecuted? Vote for the Progressive Empowerment Party and we will drag them back here to answer for their crimes. Anybody who misbehaved in public office and stole, we will take the margarita out of their hand and put them on the plane. This is a real political movement, not the bullshit artists sent to distract you with 1% and contract mafia money. This is the real McCoy.
Register and vote them out. If you can see
Contract mafia fighting so hard to marginalize the Progressive Empowerment Party, spending money to sponsor polls all over social media. Who you voting for next election, PNM or UNC? Who you voting for next election, Kamala or Keith? And all them polls limping along. Today we said, you know what? Let's give the people a real poll. Who you voting for next election, PEP or PNM/UNC? So we say all their supporters will come at one thing and outnumber us. 11 hours now that poll running. 93% of the people polled say they voted Progressive Empowerment Party. Nakta, wake up.
If they are the reason why the economy won't sprout, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the passing laws that them alone can flout, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the building ISAs,
East, West, North and South.
the same way you vote them in. Vote them out. Register and vote them out. Totally vote them out. State no finger and vote them out. Rescue the country. Vote them out. Vote them out with tempo. They have me in vain. Let's put our country together again. Vote them out with calypso and joyous refrain. Let's put our country together again. If their policy
Is a fallacy, their bureaucracy, a catastrophe. If they cannot cope, and you're seeing so, then your only hope is for them to go.
If it is fabrication, these statements that they spout, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is that frustration,
Just make you want to shout.
when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out.
Before they just use out, teeth out, sell out, and things out. The same way you vote them in,
Vote them out.
vote them out.
Register and vote them out.
Them and their system.
Vote them out. State no finger and vote them out. Them and their system. Vote them out. Vote them out in Scarborough and in Borders Bay.
Vote out the excuse factory. Vote out the nobody to blame factory. Vote out the nobody and do it. Nobody has see it. Nobody has say it. Vote that system out. Vote your brother-in-law could join the PNM to link up with Manning to get himself an attorney general position to further the family business. Vote that out. Vote out the former Minister of National Security who went and got himself representation for the ships that we now have to buy through the Ministry of National Security, kick back to PNM. Vote that out. But vote out the UNC that would give you attorneys general taking kickback brown bag for briefs. Vote out the UNC that would give you a Piarco Airport cowshed that they were 10% of what Ish and Steve gone with. Vote all of that out. Vote out the Michael Abu that Amalgamated Security that could be handed the contract to secure Paria. What happened to public tenders? Where the law? Who running this country? The inmates in charge of the asylum? It is time for a better Trinidad and Tobago. And anybody who wants to tell you something about me, tell them every single Saturday there is an open microphone in Stanmore Avenue. In fact, tomorrow there will be 3 cameras filming live in Barataria from 5 p.m. Come and ask your questions. Come and make your statements. The truth of the matter is it is easy to pull down without having something to promote. The Progressive Empowerment Party is the only political vehicle. We are on the ground since January 18, 2017, working very hard under adverse conditions, threats, defamation, character assassination, victimization. We've been here, media blackout, lack of money, we're still here. We're still here fighting that fight. Come and help us fight. We need your help. We need your vote. We need your presence. We need your mind. We need your body. We need your money. We need donations. Come and give us your time, your advice. Come and help us rebuild Trinidad and Tobago. That is the mission. That is the plan. The country that we all want for our retirement, for our children to grow in. We have to build it. We have to take it back from these mocking pretenders who have organized themselves into Indo-Afro front parties for a contract mafia that don't give a damn about you. It is time to undo and redo Trinidad and Tobago. It is time to reboot the republic. It is time for a better government. Sean David asked who going to prosecute. Put Philip Edward Alexander in that parliament and that answer will be heard loud. They will hear us from the tops of the mountains. If you did wrong by this country, bring the money and put it back and do it fast. Trinidad and Tobago, if you want a better country, tomorrow at 5, we in 10th Avenue, Barataria. Join us. Stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.